All right. So a lot of people who do manful yoga are guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they know that weightlifting can be good for them, but maybe they just haven't started. So my question is, if you're starting weightlifting and you're in that age bracket, do you have some, and your goal is to build as much muscle as possible? Is there like, are you fighting a clock? Like as soon as you start lifting weights, if you've never done it before, are you kind of fighting a clock if the goal is to build as much muscle as possible? Like, is there like and I'm assuming based on what you said, there is, because your body will eventually adapt to it will respond to the stimuli of weightlifting eventually, and you won't build muscle as quickly. So is there like, is there a time that people should aim to really push hard if they're starting and commit to it for X amount of time?
I mean, if anybody, it's my belief that like resistance training is the fountain of youth, and that does not have to be back squats and deadlifts and presses. For somebody who is like very deconditioned, that's planks and wall sits and chin over bar holds, for example. That can be a really potent form of strength training. It just depends on the level of strength for the individual. But the earlier that we can lift, the better effects that we're going to have. Now, if we're just looking at from a muscle mass standpoint, we're always fighting entropy. Entropy is like the degradation of systems in the body. It's essentially like we're moving towards death and the declination of biological processes. And so,
Memento
you
mori.
know,
We will all die.
we will all die one day. But that's not to mention that there are some rather impressive neurological benefits of resistance training. And, that actually is strength. So strength is half of it is the cross section of your muscle fiber. So if I actually on a microscopic level, I dissected one individual strand of muscle tissue, that cross section actually will get larger. It's called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's the enlargement of the cross sections of the muscle fibers. That's part of your ability to get stronger. And then the second part is neurological. It's rate firing, it's synchronization of motor units, it's neurological efficiency. These are all things that are specific adaptations that happen in labs in the strength and conditioning setting that can get better. And then lastly, through resistance training, which again doesn't have to be weights, it can be body weight focuses like yours. There's a host of cognitive benefits as well. We're seeing that it potentially wards off the development of Alzheimer's with people who have specific genetic predisposition. Same with Parkinson's. So there's a host of other things as well. I know, everybody wants to, get more muscles and look better and whatnot. But just because I'm say I'm 65 years old and I'm not able to get any more muscle, maybe I'm just fighting to maintain what I have and to keep my body's metabolism as high as possible. And so I need to shed that expectation that I'm constantly going to be growing. I personally haven't grown in years. I haven't necessarily tried to, but at some point in time, like biologically, my body doesn't want to walk around, with like Ronnie Coleman type muscle mass. He's, Mr. Olympia for, 10, 11 years in a row in the early 2000s. It's very unnatural. It's also very taxing on the cardiac system. The muscles in our heart have to work a lot harder to perfuse blood to the extremities. And biologically, it wants you to be smaller and to eat less. And so we're always kind of fighting what biology wants of us.
Hope you enjoyed that. Click over here if you want to watch another clip from the podcast. If you haven't subscribed, click over here to subscribe and check out full episodes on any major podcasting platform, full video episodes on the Better Man Podcast YouTube channel.